start. We're going to start the RDA meeting, the Redevelopment Agency meeting for Murray City. We're starting a little bit late, so okay, Jared, you're there, and okay, we're ready. All right, I want to welcome everyone to the Redevelopment Agency for Murray for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. And we currently have 3 council members, myself, Rosalba, and Phil. I'm sure the other 2 council members will be joining us. Also, welcome to the Mayor, GL, and we'll get started. Okay. The first thing we have on the agenda is the approval of minutes for April 18th, 2023. Are there any questions or anything we want to talk about the minutes? Everything's okay? Is there any questions? Okay, then I would appreciate.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 18th, 2023 RDA meeting.
I second them.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Now the second is citizen comments. And public comments can be made in person during the meeting or may be submitted by sending an email including your name and address to rda@murray.utah.gov. All comments are limited to 3 minutes or less, and email comments will be read into the record. Jared, do we have any? Okay. All right, are there any public comments? Seeing none, we'll go to...
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
And I don't know if there's some legality thing that we can't do this, but is there any possibility of putting on the agenda here when we have RDA, put RDA somewhere here so we can see it? Because for some reason, I go off of yours more than anything else, and anyway, I just wonder if you can put the time of nothing else, just the time if there's an RDA meeting.
On this paper, right? Yeah. He's talking about this paper, RDA right here.
Okay.
Just so he would know that RDA.
I know.
After
That means I have to, it's, okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay, we'll close citizen comments because I didn't see anyone that was interested in making a comment. So we'll go to discussion item, which is presentation and discussion of a draft employee down payment assistance program. Also, we have been joined by our other 2 council members, Pam and Gary. Okay. Zach.
Hello. It's nice to see you all. I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes, we've missed you.
We've been slow. So, yeah, I didn't prepare any slides or anything. There wasn't much to talk about that was outside of the kind of the program overview that you guys were provided. So, as part of last year's moderate income housing update to the general plan, one of the menu items that we needed or that the council chose as an option was to look into a down payment assistance program for the employees of the city. So I worked with Brenda on that. We found one that West Jordan does pretty well. So now we're here. We kind of discussed this at the RDA planning meeting a little bit a while ago, and we're here now to talk about whether the RDA wants to move forward and all that fun stuff. So I'll just go through just some of the program overview real quick. So eligibility, you need to be a current full-time employee in good standing, and be a public employer that operates in Murray City. Employee must not be on probationary status or subject to disciplinary action at the time of the award. Limited to use for homes as primary residences. So that means that you can't have a second dwelling and rent that one out and use this one or vice versa. Also, this is one of the questions I think will be good for discussion is participant household income. 80, we're looking between 80 or 100%. With the price of housing as it is currently and where we are currently with the area median income for the city, it's quite high. I think in 2022, which I think is what we're going off of now, I think for a family of four, it's $102,000. And I think the median house price is still over 500,000. So that's an opportunity for discussion. So the program scope, up to 5% of the home sales price, not to exceed $25,000. Home cost must be no more than 120% of the average home price in Murray. I don't have that number for you right now, but I can tell you it's going to be on the higher end. I think on average we're probably somewhere around the 700s for Murray City, probably on average. So program requirements, the home has to be located within Murray City boundaries. It has to be owner occupied within 30 days of closing. It could be existing or new construction, single family condominiums and townhomes would be allowed. And then employee must remain employed by Murray City for 4 years following the award. Otherwise, it kicks in repayment of that award. And then repayment will be required when the property is sold or the mortgage is refinanced before that, if after that time, that 4 years. So award terms, so let's see. It would be a one-time award provided by the city, and applications will be on a first-come, first-served basis. No payment, no interest on that. Up to 5%, like I said, $25,000, and then 25% award forgiveness for each year of eligible employment following the program award. So that gets you to that 4 year is when it's fully forgivable. And may be used for down payment, closing costs, single pay mortgage insurance, or mortgage interest rate buy downs. So those are a lot of things that I don't understand, but those are good things I hear. So questions?
Zach, I have a question on eligibility.
Sure.
Just where it states, must be a current full-time employee in good standing at a public employer that operates in Murray City. So it's not, this is not strictly for Murray City employees.
So that is another one I think that we were going to have a discussion on. I think the way that the moderate income housing element states is that it has to be a public employer.
Okay.
Which could mean, so like the University of Utah Clinic.
Right. A sheriff's deputy.
Yeah, a sheriff's deputy, stuff like that. So that's up for consideration, so.
Okay, yeah, I just wondered why, I don't know, maybe GL can answer, can it be made more specific to apply only to Murray City employees, or does it have to have that broader definition?
I'm assuming that's taken out of the statute, that broad definition. I think we could probably note if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Are there any other questions for Zach?
And sorry, one thing I wanted to add as well.
Sure.
There were two things that came up in the RD planning meeting that we wanted to address as well. So our initial idea is to try this out for a year with $100,000. So about $4,000 for this first year, see how it goes, and then we can come back and take a look at that. And then administration of it, We had talked about whether it was going to be done in-house and how that might operate. And I don't remember who brought it up, but Neighbor Works is willing to manage that for us. So,
Administer the,
yep.
awesome.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so this is just for discussion, right? We don't need a vote at this time?
Yeah, just discussion at this point, just
Okay.
getting me a little bit more direction, and then Brenda and I assume will come forward with actual policy and stuff and appropriation.
I think it looks great. It's exciting, and I'm glad that we're going to give this a try.
Yeah.
Do we know of employees that are already interested in this, knowing that it's possibly something that's coming out there?
Not outside of just the planner one that I told about today. Mustafa, when I told him, I was walking out the door going, okay, I have an RDA meeting, and then I told him what it was for, and he was like, oh, wow, that'd be really cool. So other than that, there hasn't been a lot of talk about it yet.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because I'd just be curious if you get 10 people that line up for it, and we've only funded it enough for 4.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something that we'll have to look at. Does that then become a waiting list, or is it just, they just have to reapply next year and hope they're one of the first come, first serve? So,
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Zach?
I noticed that you said homes, condominiums, and townhomes. I have twin homes in my district and duplexes. Are they included also?
those would be the same. Yeah, we
Okay,
would.
because
so
I have those in my district. I
Yes.
just want to make sure.
most definitely. Yep, we
okay.
would treat that the same way.
Okay, perfect.
Not
thank you.
duplexes, but twin homes. Because duplex is two homes
Right.
on one parcel.
Right,
So we
okay.
have to, just making that clear. So it wouldn't be 2 homes on one parcel. It would be,
Joined homes.
yeah,
Yes,
joined homes. Yes.
Which are
Yep.
twin homes.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
I have a question, just because the market's so high in Murray and we are limited with the amount of houses that we have. I foresee this kind of being a barrier probably for some to buy within Murray boundaries. So that's my first concern. My second concern is, or I guess a suggestion, would existing or new construction single-family homes be considered for like renovations? Like if somebody wanted to renovate onto their property as well?
Ooh, probably not. If they already have, if they already have a mortgage and like refinancing, probably not.
And I would kind of like to look into that because of the amount that we have available within Murray City.
Sure.
I think we're going to face that people probably can't come into Murray, especially if there's a range, and then the range to buy is a lot higher than probably what they're making. So either we fix the verbiage there to meet, kind of have some more flexibility in terms of the range,
Okay.
because we could I would hate to put somebody in a home that's making $60,000 into a $500,000 house and then they can't pay their mortgage. I don't know if that's a reality. I don't
Sure.
know. I don't know. So
We can look into it a little bit more, and I
Yeah.
can kind of look into that, into that data. But
I mean, I know there's not very many in Murray. So, I mean, you probably have townhomes, but even that, like, where are we at with the availability of townhomes?
right.
Come to Bullion.
Yeah, well, soon,
Come to
but
District 2.
I mean, soon we will. But as far as condominiums, we're putting up more apartments than anything, and so there's that. I think I would just like a little bit flexibility so we can keep our staff here,
Sure.
our public servants within Murray, and because we may, I would hate to find us a year later and say we're going to have to make this be a whole county thing.
Sure.
I don't know where
Yeah.
where the flex is on that.
Okay. I'll look into it a little bit more, and we can hash that out.
Okay.
Question, on Rosalba's question on the $500,000 home, don't they would have to be approved?
Oh, yeah.
You
they would-
couldn't make $50,000 and buy a $500,000 home because this.
Probably not,
You wouldn't
no.
be- Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you. it
No,
wouldn't be
thanks for
approved.
that. I really just wanted to get clarification on that because I would hate for somebody to say, okay, this is a great
Right,
route and
right.
have that expectation and then not be approved in
Yeah,
that
so
process.
I think you'd have to spell it out that you'd have to be approved for, just like any other loan.
Right.
so.
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And the money for this comes out of the RDA? Is that?
Yeah, it would come from the set aside, the low income affordable housing set aside.
And how much is in that currently?
It depends on
3
million.
million?
Yeah.
And we're talking about using 100,000 of it?
Well, as a pilot program.
Yeah,
just to
as-
see.
Just
as
making
this
sure I
year.
It has
understand.
legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last question, is, let's say the employer is then terminated before the 4 years is up, they would have to repay that back to the city, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they make it like 2 years, if it's 2 years, they have to pay half of it back.
So there's a step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Every year, a quarter of it is forgiven.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And how did you guys feel about the 80 or 100% of AMI thing? I think even NeighborWorks.
That really speaks to Rosalba's point.
Yeah, that goes.
Right,
Yeah,
that's-
that goes to Rosalba's point a little bit because I don't know. I could probably talk with Robyn to figure out how many people in this city actually even make in that 80 to 100
Range.
AMI range. I mean, at least by themselves, we would have to do a lot more digging.
Yeah.
But how many actually fit in that? So how many employees would this actually affect? So,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think, it would limit some for sure,
Sure.
but I think it would also be a great opportunity
Yep,
as well.
definitely.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks, Zach.
thanks.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, guess not. Thank you, Zach.
Hey, thank you.
All right, we're at number 4, which is updates. RDA budget adoption process and other current projects. Jared.
Thank you. Just a quick couple of updates. The RDA budget is slightly different than other budgets. You don't need a tentative budget adopted, so we have scheduled we're planning to schedule the RDA budget adoption for a public hearing on June 27th. The budget is attached to your other budget information, so it's not like you haven't seen that. That would be the tentative RDA budget. So if you have any questions about it, please feel free to reach out to Brenda and myself, and we'll fill you in as we go. So we're planning, just to recap real quickly, the 27th, we would ask for you to take a public hearing and adopt the RDA budget. Any questions about that? I know in the past we've done a tentative version of it, but the tentative version is what you have, and we'll ask to have that adopted on the 27th. A couple of adoptions.
Is that enough information
Do you need anything
to the
more?
RDA board? Are you okay with that? Okay. Okay,
If anything, if
continue.
we need to change anything in the documents you've already got, we'll let you know, but I think we're pretty set.
Okay.
A couple of updates you'll want to know about. The ore sampling mill that the board recently approved, that extension to the participation agreement, is under construction again because they got their approvals from the state and federal government for their cleanup plan. So, well, it's first of its kind. It's the first cleanup of its kind. So it's the first voluntary cleanup that's not a non-standard federal EPA.
Is he
cleanup.
really excited?
I'm ecstatic. So
That's
really,
awesome.
probably not as excited as me, but it's exciting for him as well. So they're going on that. So the cleanup will take a while, but then their entitlements were in place before. I think they might have lapsed. We'll check that out, see if we need to re-up their conditional use permit, but we'll get them working on their project again soon. Yeah, they probably need a new approval. But Zach will handle that in another venue. It doesn't come to the city council, by the way. It goes to planning commission. So I'll let you know when it's happening if you want to tune in and watch what happens with that approval. Another quick thing you want to know, the Murray North Station Area Plan, we had our first open house not long ago for that. That fire clay area is an RDA, so that's still active up there, and it'll have some impacts to that RDA, or there'll be discussions about the RDA and its participation there, et cetera. So we'll keep you apprised of that. The open house went well. We didn't have a whole lot of public there. We had the one guy. But he was a good public participant, so that was good. And we had a nice meeting with the consultants and a lot of stakeholders. Phil and the mayor were there, and it was a good meeting. So we're looking forward and for new ways to try to advertise the next open house to get more people out. But that plan continues to move forward. So that's something you want to know. We did hire a new economic development specialist. As you know, Abby left us not long ago at the end of March. The new gentleman's name is Elvon Farrell. He's going to start on June 5th. And he currently, or most recently, he's left their employee waiting to come to us, but he was working for the Economic Development Corporation of Utah.
Can
So
you say
he's
that name again?
Elvon Farrell. Like Elvis, but with a Von at the end. So, and we're looking forward to him starting. He's got a lot of experience, or more than we've had in the past for economic development, so we're looking for him to be a real asset to us. Related to that, we're going down to ICSC next week. Phil, the mayor, Diane will all be headed down to Las Vegas. And we're looking forward to that. Got a lot of good meetings set up. One of the meetings we're going to take is for electronic vehicle charging, if that's okay. So there's some companies out there doing that. Just asking for your permission to have that meeting now, so.
It's awesome.
And then lastly, the downtown area plan is underway. Our consultant is working on background information and research and data compilation. We're trying to get the steering committee together. It's been hard to get those folks all in the same room. We're probably going to have a Zoom meeting to start it instead, and it'll probably be next week instead of this week. But we are working on that, and the committee's been technically formed, and we're working. So with that, those are the updates I have for you right now. Do you have any questions? Anything you're wanting
Jared,
to know?
just one comment on the North Area Station
Yeah.
Master Plan exercise we did. The one thing that I found really beneficial was the fact that it's a shared study between Mill Creek and Murray.
Yeah.
And Mill Creek had a lot of staff there, and it was good to sit down with them and talk about, they have the same issues that we do in that area. And I found that really, really beneficial. It was going to
I'm
be
glad.
nice to do
It's
that.
this is so far for us to this is the first time we've engaged with another city for a plan
Good.
like that. So it's
Good.
kind of interesting
thought it
territory
was
for
great.
us. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Jared, are there any updates on this building?
I don't have any to share with you. I know that we're closing out, the bid process is going to close out, I don't even call it a bid process, but the first stage of that is closing out at the end of the month.
And so people are making proposals then, or is that?
I don't know how many have come in officially. I know I've talked to a lot of people asking questions about this or that, asking if they should put this in their proposal, if they think that that's a good idea, or specific questions about the zoning, that kind of thing. I've talked to probably 7 or 8.
Okay.
So I don't know if all of those are resulting in actual proposals or not. I couldn't tell you.
Who is managing, or ordinance handling?
Ordinance. And I haven't talked to him about this project for a couple of weeks, so I
Okay.
don't know. I hope that answers your question, sorry. So,
And I have a question. What about the bus passes that we
yeah,
did last year
Great. That's-
from the RDA?
I'm glad you asked. Rebecca is helping me get that one underway. We're mopping up a couple of the last details. We should be underway within the month of June. So
Perfect.
we're
Thank
almost
you.
done with that one. And we'll see how we're trying to work out how to advertise that one best, so we'll try to get that underway. But most of the kinks are ironed out in that, so. And yeah, the money was appropriated clear last year. It's just taken a while to get its feet under it, so. Anything else?
Any other questions?
Can I just publicly thank Jared for getting his information to the council even a day earlier than he said he was going
Yes,
to do?
I
So
know.
anyway, we appreciate it. I know you're busy, and with Elvon coming on, it's going to be a lot better, but it's not going to happen for a few months. So.
That was a one-time thing.
It was a one-time thing.
Promise it'll
Okay.
never happen.
Here I am
Oh, don't
complimenting
say
him.
that.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, bet, no problem. Thanks, guys.
All right. Anything from the RDA Council? If not, we will be adjourned.
If I could have your attention, I'd like to call this meeting of the Murray City Council to order, the meeting for May 16th, 2023. I'm Phil Markham, representing District 1. I will be conducting the meeting this evening. With me tonight, I have Gary Herekasi, Diane Turner, Rosalba Dominguez, and Pam Cotter from the City Council. So, first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance, and I have asked Suzanne Harrison, Salt Lake County Commissioner, to lead us in that. So if you will rise and follow her lead.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Our first order of business this evening is approval of two sets of council minutes. The minutes from the April 18th, 2023 meeting and also the May 2nd, 2023 meeting. We can handle these with one vote, right? Okay. Are there any comments or corrections?
None.
With that, I'll call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the council meeting minutes for April 18th, 2023 and May 2nd, 2023.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Gary Herekasi and a second by Rosalba Dominguez that we approve the council minutes for April 18th and May 2nd, both of 2023. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, our first item is special recognition, and this evening we have Robyn Colton with us, the Human Resources Director, and Mayor Hales has graciously agreed to handle the presentation for me this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
Come on up, Robyn. Robyn, is this your husband and daughter?
Yeah.
You do have, we just thought you were not real because we just never see you, so it's good to see you. And you know, Robyn, it's just how she is. She asked for this and to be the employee of the month. And I said, oh, Robyn, we've talked about this. And she said, oh, please, can I? She's as opposite as that can be, but we kind of forced this on her, but that was okay. So we just want, Robyn is over our human resources. She's our director. And let me just tell you, I've been involved with HR probably for 30-something years, and Robyn is amazing. She knows how to handle things. She knows how to get things done. She knows how to put a little pressure on us when she needs to put a little pressure on us, and really a faithful employee. Been with the city 15 years? 15 years. She loves to talk. Look at her, just nodding her head. And anyway, she is a great employee. Let me just read a little bit about her. And this isn't the only reason that we're giving her this award, but this was huge for our city. And I want to just tell you, so when I came on board, I had met some people that are brokers for insurance, and I mentioned it to Robyn, and next thing you know, this is what took place. Robyn recommended the city hire a benefits insurance consultant to negotiate the city's benefits. After funds were approved, Robyn selected a broker and worked with them to reduce the city's health costs from 4% to 1%, which is huge. Other benefits were also improved with additional cost savings. Overall, Robyn and the consultant saved the city over $250,000 for fiscal year 2023-2024. Huge thing. Now, we just have a $50 gift certificate for you, Robyn. I know you asked for 10% of that $250, but we couldn't afford that. So, yeah, she knows. You might not know. I'm kidding. She knows. Anyway, so we just want to recognize Robyn has been a wonderful HR director. You have been the HR director for 4, 5?
4 minutes.
Yeah. 4.5, 5 years, and really took off after our other director had left. Robyn picked up and was the assistant for a while, but she picked up and just has done a great job. She knows most of we have 450, somewhere around there? 405, see, she knows. 405 employees, and she really knows the employees, and she is constantly in contact with them. HR is a very crucial, they're all crucial, but HR, you have to have confidence in your HR director because people are coming in, employees are coming in, talking to her, discussing things that she doesn't discuss with anybody else. And so she has the confidence from the mayor's administration and from many, many of the employees, which is a huge deal. So without further ado, and I am going to make you introduce your husband and your little girl. And where are those two boys? Why aren't they here?
Teenagers.
They're teenagers. I can't imagine why they don't want to be at a city council meeting, but because my teenagers did not like going to a city council meeting. Okay. Anyway, so we have a $50 gift certificate for you. And we also have a certificate. And your name will, oh, they're gone. The names are gone. I didn't know that. So the names are gone. This building, I was in my office the other day and all of a sudden I had water dripping on my head. I'm not going to miss that part. And with me, I feel the water faster than any of you out do because of obvious reasons. But so it'll be on a plaque at the new City Hall. And there's your certificate signed by the council. So this is a council and administration combined. And we just are grateful for all that Robyn does. And I just want to give her a big hand for all that she does. Okay, you got to come up and I know you don't want to do this. I know you don't want to do it. It's painfully hard. But I'm going to ask that you do this. So anyway, if you'll just say something and introduce your family and look at her. And don't hate me.
I think this is why he did this to me. Yeah, so my husband Trent is here and my youngest daughter Harper. And then, as the mayor said, I don't really like to speak a lot, but anyway, I love the city. I've loved working here for 15 years. I appreciate the support from the administration here, and I have a great staff that helps put everything together for me. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Robyn. Okay, Mayor, I don't think you should have sat down, but item number 2 on our special recognition list.
If she wants, can she go home?
Of course, of course. The second item on our special recognition is to consider a joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City to designate and support the week of May 21st through 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Mayor Hales, Battalion Chief Travis Botcher, and Medical Director Adam Balls will be presenting.
Come on up. Yeah, all of you. Now, Travis, do you have something you're going to read besides?
Very short.
Okay.
He's with there in public.
Okay. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So I'm just going to read the resolution. Thanks, Phil. As Phil said, a joint resolution of the mayor and the municipal council of Murray City to designate and support the week of May 21st through 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Service Week. Whereas emergency medical services is vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the emergency medical service system consists of emergency physicians, emergency nurses, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, and others. And whereas the members of emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of the emergency medical service services provided by designating Emergency Medical Service Week. Now therefore, we do hereby proclaim May 21st to the 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Service Week throughout this city, and encourage the community to support the many public safety activities of the Murray City Fire Department. And then I will now turn this over to the council. Would you like them to go first, or do you want to, should we pass it first and then
Yes.
have them? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there any discussion on the resolution? Okay. If not, I'll call for a motion.
I make a motion to adopt the joint resolution of the mayor and municipal council of Murray City to designate and support the week of May 21st through 27th, 2023 as Emergency Medical Service Week.
I second.
Okay. I have a motion by Pam Cotter and a second by Gary Harekesi to approve the joint resolution. Call for a vote, please.
Ms. Cotter.
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Harekesi.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Okay, so passed and approved and adopted by the mayor and the municipal council of the Murray City, Utah, this 16th day of May 2023. And so we will now have Travis is one of our assistant, what's your title now? Assistant?
Battalion Chief.
Battalion Chief. Hey, don't mess with him. He's the battalion chief. I was going to say assistant something, but I thought we had, anyway, so battalion chief. And then Dr. Balls will also address us. But we have a great relationship with IHC. And Phil talked earlier today in a committee of the whole and said how important it is for our school district and Murray City to weave and to connect together. It's the same thing with any other area, especially with our hospital that's right across the street. And Murray City is so blessed. We're one of the most fortunate cities around, and it's because of a lot of it comes from our first responders. And we owe a lot to our first responders, and we're appreciative for this and grateful for the council to have passed this. So without further ado, I'll turn the time over to Travis, and then he'll turn the time over to Dr. Balls to address us. So thank you.
Mayor and City Council, thanks for having us here tonight and for recognition of EMS Week. We're lucky here in Murray to have amazing men and women providing EMS care to our citizens and visitors. This last year, we broke some records for our call volume and transports in EMS, running nearly 6,000 medical calls and providing transports to almost 2,700 patients. I'm very proud of our providers and the hard work they perform every day. I don't want to take too much of your time up tonight, so I'm going to pass the mic over to Dr. Adam Balls here. For those of you who don't know, Dr. Balls, he's our medical director, and he's been with Murray Fire for about 7 years now. So.
Mayor and City Council, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. I also saw Travis's speech and notes before I came, and I added to my speech to lengthen it a little bit. Travis claims he's not a great public speaker, so I guess I'm the public speaker tonight. It really is an honor and a privilege for me to come every year when I am in town and give these speeches to honor the excellent men and women that comprise the Murray Fire EMS agency. We are grateful for the support of this city council. We're grateful for the support of the citizens of this community for what we do, and not only financial support, but support in terms of acts of kindness and words to these first responders. The theme for next week's EMS Week is Where Emergency Care Begins. Many may believe that emergency care begins when the 911 system is activated in the event of a medical emergency or traumatic injury. However, emergency care provided by EMS personnel begins long before a 911 call is made. Emergency care here in Murray began decades ago when an EMS agency was created to provide this medical care. It continued as a dedicated team of highly trained professionals were hired to be a part of this Murray EMS family. Emergency care begins as our new employees are trained and go through paramedic training and other skill training to gain the knowledge and expertise that they need to provide high level and high quality care. This continues on shift as we mentor and we provide guidance and feedback to these new employees on their performance. A great deal of training, Simulation, call reviews occurs on a monthly basis to make sure that we are in line and continuing to achieve our goal of providing the highest quality EMS care here in the state of Utah. Long before a citizen dials 911, Murray Fire is prepared to provide emergency care in their hour of need. I'm grateful to be the medical director of Murray Fire. It is an honor to work with such an excellent group of dedicated men and women who are passionate in their service as EMS personnel. They are a group of first responders who serve their communities. They do so with great heart. They do so with the emotional toll that the job that we do takes on them. We recognize that their job is difficult, and I appreciate these men and women for continuing to do that job and provide that excellent care day in and day out. I can assure the citizens of this community and this city council that Murray Fire is where emergency care begins. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Balls. The next item on our agenda is citizen comments. And comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and we ask that you fill out the required form as well. And also, as comments are made this evening, we ask for new information from each speaker and not simply just rehashing the same points that may have been brought up earlier. I have a form filled out by Suzanne Harrison, and I will call her to the podium first.
Thank you so much, Council, and thank you, Mayor Hales, for letting me join you. And as a healthcare worker who works at the hospital next door, I just want to second my thanks to the EMS team. We depend on you every day, and I'm just truly grateful for all you do to keep our community safe. Thank you. Sorry, sidetracked. They're so important, and I love that you're acknowledging them. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Suzanne Harrison. I'm a new member of the Salt Lake County Council. I represent the county at large, and I just wanted to come and say hello and thank you for your service. Thank you for all of you being here and helping make our community better. I just want to make sure that you know that my goal and commitment is to serve right beside you in our shared constituents and helping serve the needs out there. And I came specifically for to draw attention to something that the county is trying to do. I introduced an effort to include more information in the notice of valuation that the Salt Lake County Auditor mails out every year to help people know about some of the services that are available. A lot of people are struggling with cost of living stress right now in our community, and the county has several programs for tax relief, tax deferrals, and also for assistance and assortment of other services for people that qualify. And a lot of people qualify for tax relief, but they don't know about it. So we're asking you to help get the word out. I brought my computer because there's a website that has an assortment of assistance programs, but also a link to tax relief. And all of you share this with your friends and neighbors too. There's relief for rental assistance. There's also tax relief for folks that are lower income. If you're a veteran or if you're a senior, you may qualify for help with your taxes or any assortment of other assistance, whether it's aging services or other services. So if you go to slco.org/assistance-programs-services, that's kind of long. But if you're a property owner, you're gonna get an insert in your notice of valuation the end of July that has that website. And it also has a phone number for the treasurer's office, and I'll give that to you now, 385-468-8300. And the website and also that phone number you can call to find out if you may qualify for tax relief. Go to the website first because that has a lot of information, including this double-sided page that has qualifications for who might apply or who might qualify. And just if you have a youth groups or Mayor's Youth Council here in Murray, I encourage you to help them get the word out. Some of the folks that we're trying to reach may not be as tech savvy as, the teenagers in the room, but help get the word out to our neighbors and friends who might qualify for this help. And thank you for what you do to serve, and I really appreciate your time and service. And reach out to me anytime and how I can assist you. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that would like to make a comment this evening? Please step to the microphone. Have you filled out the form, sir? Yep. Okay, thank you. Just state your name and address, and we'll
Hi,
begin.
my name is Kyle Hurte. I'm a resident of Murray, and first time doing this, so bear with me. One of the things I like most about living in Murray is that I can walk and ride my bike most places when I don't have to drive. And I'm proposing for a crosswalk to be installed on 5900 South at the 725 East block. As an active walker, runner, and cyclist in this area, I've noticed countless pedestrians and children cross the road to this intersection. Currently, there's a 1 mile stretch on 5900 South from Fashion Boulevard to 900 East where pedestrians cannot cross the road because there's no crosswalk. I believe this is a crucial gap in an otherwise walkable area with Southwood Park and Wheeler Farm to the south and Friendship Park and McMillan Elementary to the north. A lot of people use that road to cross and visit the parks and schools. So I think a crosswalk would make for a safer and less stressful environment for pedestrians. According to a recent report from the Governor's Highway Safety Association, pedestrian fatalities have reached the highest level in 40 years last year in 2022. And as a new father of a 5-month-old, I think about his future quite a bit, and I want him to have the freedom of walking and biking around Murray to go to school, visit his friends without worrying about him becoming another statistic. This is a very small, but I believe important step in continuing to make Murray a place that values and promotes the safety of pedestrians. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Hi, Clark Bellon, District 3. I just wanted to say thank you to all of the Murray City administration, staff, council, and employees. I ask a lot of questions and a lot of help from everybody on the city, and people are gracious with their time. This last couple of weeks, I asked a lot of questions of a lot of you, and I really appreciate everyone's patience. And I think we have a great city, and you can tell everyone who's involved really loves the city, and it's a city worth loving. So thank you.
Thank you, Clark. Any other takers? Okay. Mr. Delascave.
Sean Delascave, Murray Journal. I also live in District 2. I just wanted to follow up with the comment I made in the last City Council meeting regarding the broadcast of the Committee of the Whole. I wanted to express my appreciation. I understand from Diane Turner that this will continue in the new City Council or the new City Hall building, which brings me to the next point. Today is the last City Council meeting, I understand, that will ever be held in this building. So it's kind of momentous. I do want to point out the sign behind me, though. It's the bane of my existence. Some clever fire marshal put that sign up, but it's a pain to really cut out of photographs of every emotional retirement, every celebratory, every police swearing in, every heated discussion. This sign has sat behind there. So at this time, I'd advocate for the city to put this in the new Murray City Museum so that it will live in perpetuity. I would take it, but the city fire marshal would probably cite me for what I would do to it. But with that little bit of levity, I would just like to, just point out the occasion that this is the last city council meeting in this city hall.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. With that, I will close the public comment period, and I just wanted to make one comment myself that Kyle, just so you know, the Director of Public Works is here this evening, and so I'm sure between he and the mayor, they've heard your request for that crosswalk, and they'll look into that.
And
Okay.
Phil, really quickly, I think Jennifer might have just had a heart attack too, because we are planning this to be the last meeting here in these chambers. And so we are pushing very hard to go to the next chambers. So we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. And if we're holding up phones to broadcast, bear with us. We think we'll be good. We have a lot of assurances, but we'll be live. So we're looking forward to it as well, Sean.
All right. The next item, we do not have any public hearings scheduled this evening, you lucky people. And we'll move on to business items. Item number 1 is to consider a resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Greg Bellon as city general manager of the city's general manager of the power department. Mayor Hales will be presenting.
Make sure you get that right, Mayor. I said Bellon once, and it's a
right,
very
yeah.
serious thing.
Really, don't mess with that last name, Herecacy. How'd I say? Did I do that right?
Now spell it.
Was that you that said that? Oh my
He can't
goodness.
see that far, so you're asking a lot.
HR. I'm just kidding. I can't see that far. I really wouldn't be able to read. That's sad, isn't it? Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. Greg, can you come up? I looked over there for you. Got a lot of support here today. That's awesome that they would be here, and your family. Thanks for being here. I'll just go ahead and read this. Before I do, I'll just let you know that it was about a 6-week process that we took to do this. And I'm sure Greg was, well, I know he was very antsy, and I really didn't give way at all to him. And we feel as an administration this is a great decision. He has a lot of support. It's kind of cool when you watch the employees around a department director. And Greg just kind of fits in as just one of the guys. He's just a good person and loves people unconditionally. And it's a testament, again, to have some of the employees here today and his family. But so we're excited about this. It's just, we feel like it's a great decision. So I'll go ahead and read the resolution and then turn the time over to you. A resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Greg Bellon as the city's general manager of the power department. Whereas the city needs to hire a general manager who shall serve as the director of the power department. And whereas Section 10-3B 202 of the Utah Code provides that the mayor, with advice and consent of the city council, appoints each department director of the city. And whereas the mayor has determined that Greg Bellon is very qualified to serve as the power department's general manager. And whereas the mayor appoints Greg Bellon as the power department's general manager, subject to advice and consent of the city council. And whereas the city council wants to give its consent to the mayor's appointment of Greg Bellon. Hey, you didn't think your name was going to be said this much, huh? This is more than when we're running for election, our name gets read. But Greg Bellon is the city's general manager of the power department. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Murray Municipal Council that it hereby consents. Well, I'm going to wait on that part because it hasn't happened yet, so I'll stop there.
All right.
And I'm going to let you ask questions of Greg, and then we will continue.
Okay. Are there any questions for Greg? Comments?
Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm excited for you.
A question I would have is, what are your top things you hope to do as you assume this position? What, like your top 2 or 3?
Wow, that's a good one. I really want to unite our department. I think it's important to have communication, and I really just, we've had a couple of meetings already, and I've just said, hey, I want people to enjoy coming to work, and I want people to be treated as you would want to be treated. And so I think just our employees are so important to us. I mean, they make our city. They really do. And so employee morale, it's important to have them happy. We're in a unique time right now. It's kind of, we're in an area of rates and increasing costs, but we're going to do our very best. We're going to do our very best to do what's good for the city, good for the residents of Murray. So I just really want to do what's best for our citizens and for the city as a whole and the power department. So
Thank you.
I have a comment. I've known you a long time, Greg, and so I'm very proud. That's awesome, and I know you'll do a great job. And It's also wonderful to see Marlena. So anyway, I know you're partners, but so it's kind of a little emotional for me. I just, think you're awesome. So
Thank you.
thanks again.
Thanks, Diane.
And congratulations if you're approved.
Lastly, I wanted to say, I really do appreciate your input and everything I've learned from you directly. I feel this is probably the best move for our city right now, and you have such great insight, and your team and everybody that's here to support you. It reflects that this is the right move for us in the city and where we're going, even though we will have some hard decisions to make together, for sure. But I think you've helped me and enlightened me to my role and my duties in terms of what the power does in the power department and what everybody does there as well. So I really appreciate you all, and Marlena and the family as well.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's pretty much all been said, Greg, and I'm looking forward to working with you and hearing from you and sharing, your ideas, your feedback. It's going to be very, very interesting and very satisfying, I'm sure. So with that, I will consider a motion to approve a resolution appointing Greg Bellon as the city's general manager of the power department.
I will second that.
No, I
Sorry.
call for it, yeah.
Sorry, I will make a motion.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, my mind was ready. I will make a motion that we consider a resolution providing advice and consent to the mayor's appointment of Greg Bellon as the city general manager of the power department.
I will second.
I have a motion by Rosalba Dominguez and a second by Gary Harekesi to approve the resolution of the appointment of Greg Bellon as the city's general manager of the power department. Please call for a vote.
Ms. Cotter.
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Harekis.
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
I think we can clap for that.
All
Well, let me
right.
read this part here.
Yes, business item number 2 is to consider a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of representatives to the Intermountain Power Agency, Intermountain Power Agency coordinating committees, and the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems. Mayor Hales presenting.
Before I go on to that, I'm just real quick.
You
Uh,
didn't-
I'll just finish this part real quick.
We need to swear him in first.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but let me finish this part here and then we'll swear him. It hereby consents to the mayor's appointment
Fortunately,
of
this
Greg
doesn't
Bellon
happen.
as the city power department general manager dated this day. Is it, this blank, is it the 16th today? 16th, 2023. And now we will proceed with the swearing in, so. What did I say? Did I say something wrong? No.
So, no, I said something
Okay,
wrong there.
you know what?
I
When you have-
jumped to the conclusion.
When you have this guy behind you, you don't know what the heck's happening, but, and he laughs about everything, so you don't know if you're saying something stupid, which I usually do. But anyway, okay, so Brooke will do that now.
Okay, I'll have you speak in the microphone.
Oh, right.
Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Greg Bellon,
Do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear
To support, obey, and defend.
to support, obey, and defend
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United
And
States
the Constitution of the State of Utah.
and the Constitution of the State of Utah,
And to perform the duties of my office.
and to perform the duties of my office
As the General Manager of Power.
as the General Manager of Power
With fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Does that say Greg Bellon? That looks like our attorney's signature.
I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah, I think our attorney wanted to be a doctor too, because I'm here to tell you, GL's signature, at least it's consistent. I know your signature. Anyway, do you mind, before we go on to Greg say a few things? Okay. There you go, Greg, on that. again, and we'll go into some appointments, but for board appointments, but it's just an honor. And you know what? Thank you, council. We're really, and Clark said it, we're a really lucky city, fortunate city. Our council is so supportive. I mean, like, very supportive of our employees. You don't get that everywhere. I talk to mayors all the time, and most of them would not say what I say about how well we get along with each other, we respect each other. Even if you don't agree, what a novel idea that you can still get along even if you don't agree. And that is such a wonderful thing. So, Greg, I'm going to have you introduce your family and give a 2-minute talk. I'm kidding. Anyway, just say whatever you want to say, and then we'll go forward with the board appointment. So.
Well, first off, I'll recognize my family. I'm grateful they're here with me tonight. They're always very supportive, and I love them, and grateful for everything they do for me. So my wife, Marlena, my oldest daughter, Clarissa, Olivia's next, and she's the next oldest, and her husband, Trent, and then Julia is our middle child. So we have 3 daughters, and Brooks is her husband. And then we've got 2 boys that aren't here tonight, Matthew and Andre. But just thanks, you guys. I love you guys. But I also want to do a shout out to my employees that are here. Well, not my employees, the employees of the power department. We've got Eric Bracewell, Colton Kakala. We've got Victor Mesa in the back, and Matt Youngs. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did. Anyway, seriously, we do. I want to say our department has the best, but I mean, it's Murray City. We just, our employees are an amazing group of individuals, very strong-willed, but just very capable, very qualified, and just are the best. I would put them up against any other department in Utah and around, because I truly believe that, and I'm grateful for their support. And I look forward, council and mayor, thank you. It meant a lot to stand here and get your okay with this. I promise you, I'll do my best, and we will get together and we'll make decisions. We have some hard decisions to make, but we'll make informed decisions. We'll make decisions that are, like I said, they might be tough, but they'll be what's in the best interest of all involved. And I just look forward to working with you all, and just really, again, thanks, Mayor, for having faith in me, and we'll do our best as a power department to make Murray proud. So thank you.
All right, now, Jennifer, item number 2 on our business items is to consider a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of representatives to the Intermountain Power Agency, Intermountain Power Agency coordinating committees, and to the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems. Mayor Hales will present.
Now, are these all together?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'll just read this. A resolution approving the mayor's appointment of representatives to the Intermountain Power Agency, IPA, Intermountain Power Agency coordinating committees, and to the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems, UAMS. Whereas the mayor needs to appoint a city representative and an alternate representative to the Intermountain Power Agency and to certain coordinating committees of IPA. Whereas the mayor needs to appoint a city representative as an alternate representative to Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems. And whereas the mayor has made appointments to IPA and to IPA coordinating committees formed pursuant to certain power sales and contracts between IPA and city, respectively, the power sales contracts dated September 28, 1978, and the renewal power sales contract dated January 16, 2017. And to UAMS. And whereas the mayor wants approval by the Murray City Municipal Council of the appointments. Now therefore be it resolved by the Murray City Municipal Council that it hereby approves the following appointments. So this is what we're going to formally do this. Number 1, Greg Bellon as the city's representative to Intermountain Power Agency with Matt Youngs Matt, stand up so they know who you are. I know they all know who you are, but just stand up. Okay, that's Matt. All right. All right. Thanks, Matt. Matt Youngs as the alternate representative. Number 2, Greg Bellon as the city's representative to the Intermountain Power Agency Coordinating Committee pursuant to the power sales contract, again dated September 28, 78, with Matt Youngs as the alternate representative. Number 3, Greg Bellon as the city's representative to the Intermountain Power Agency Renewal Contract Coordinating Committee pursuant to power sales. Contract dated January 16, 2017, with Matt Youngs as the alternate representative. Finally, number 4, Greg Bellon as the city's representative to the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems, UAMPS, Board, with Matt Youngs as the alternate. And if you approve these appointments will take effect immediately.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Is there discussion or questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we adopt a resolution. Sorry, I missed it. We adopt a resolution approving the mayor's appointments of representatives to the Intermountain Power Agency, Intermountain Power Agency Coordinating Committees, and to Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second it.
And sorry, I didn't see who said that.
Me.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. All right, Pam. All right, I have a motion by Gary Harekesi and a second by Pam Cotter to approve the appointment of the mayor's representatives to the Intermountain Power Agency, Intermountain Power Agency Coordinating Committees, and the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems. Please call for a vote.
Aye.
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 All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
I
Mayor.
appreciate it.
All right. Moving along, the third item on our business items list is to consider a resolution approving and authorizing execution of an interlocal cooperation agreement between Murray City Corporation and Salt Lake County for a contribution of TRCC funds for a new playground area in Murray Park. And Kim Sorensen is presenting this information.
Phil, can I interrupt? Can the Bellon family go eat?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. No, I didn't say all the power department. I just.
Gosh, I thought they would want to hear me. Thank you, Council. So as Phil said, and we talked about in CLW, we're here to ask you to consider an interlocal agreement with Salt Lake County for TRCC funds in the amount of $100,000 to be used to help us build a playground in Murray Park. Any questions?
No, I don't have any. We've discussed this quite a few times. Council, any questions or comments?
No.
No, I'm excited for the toddler playground.
I'll entertain
I
a
was
motion.
thinking about it, really, sorry, Phil, I was thinking about it if we're doing anything for ADA. I know some of our newer playground has
So
some
the
ADAs.
playground will be completely accessible by all abilities.
Awesome. All
With
right.
poured in place, the hard poured in place rubber, and then also some shade structure.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just want to say thanks for following through on the track fund process. I know it's not easy, so anyway, really appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the resolution approving and authorizing execution of an interlocal cooperation agreement between Murray City Corporation and the Salt Lake County for a contribution of TRCC funds for a new playground area in Murray Park.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Diane Turner and a second by Gary Harekesi that the city approve the agreement between Murray City and Salt Lake County for a contribution of TRCC funds for the new playground in Murray Park. Please call for a vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. All right, moving along. we have item number 4, which is to consider a resolution adopting the City Council's tentative budget as amended for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023, and ending June 30th, 2024, and scheduling a hearing to receive public comment before the final budget is adopted. Brenda Moore will present.
So you may or may not get tired of seeing the same presentation over and over again. So I will change it up a little bit from time to time. So tonight there's a resolution before you to adopt the tentative budget. I'll just give you some of the highlights. See if I can. So the budget highlights, the general fund budget is balanced with no use of reserves. There is a 5% property tax increase, which basically equates to $23 of new tax on a $565,000 home. Employees are to receive a 4% cost of living adjustment. The STEP program was fully funded. The budget includes a health insurance increase of 1%, a dental decrease of 10%, and the city will continue to do the 85-15 split. The budget includes 8 new full-time employees, 2 police officers, a paramedic firefighter, a museum curator, an SSOD inspector, an inspector 3, a mechanic, and an apprentice line worker. 25 position ranges were increased to be within 5% of market. I think I will have Robyn Colton, I don't think she's told everybody yet who those people are. I know, but we'll make sure that everybody knows if the budget passes. So this is just a quick fund summary, and then I will go through it very quickly on some of what the funds are doing, and then we'll talk about the general fund. The special revenue internal service funds, the library is increasing its reserves, continuing to save for a new library, and then their capital funds are being allocated to remodel the restrooms. I think everybody's in agreement on that one. The central garage fund is using $58,000 of reserves. The fleet supervisor is becoming a fleet manager. And then they are adding a new mechanic. The retained risk is going to use $200,000 of reserves, just trying to keep their reserve level down or to 4 times our deductible. In the enterprise funds, the water fund is using $1 million of reserves, all for capital projects. The largest capital project they are doing is the AMR metering system, which is on order. The wastewater fund is using $976,000 of reserves. Their charges for services I did increase because they are in the second of a 5-year rate increase rate structure adjustments. And their capital projects, they're doing $1.1 million of sewer line replacements and an upsize project east of State Street. They call it the State Street line, but it doesn't run down State Street, so we're not digging up that brand new pavement they just put down. Stormwater fund is increasing reserves by $364,000. Their charges for services was also increased because they're in the 5th and final year of a rate schedule. And the capital projects that they're doing is the final for the Clover Meadows storm drain that they're working on, and a project on Utana to Sagewood.
That's yours.
And then the other enterprise, let's go. Solid waste is increasing their reserves. Mainly, I think we got their last rate structure done really well because this is being caused by the fact that I stopped the transfer. Their expenses are slowly eating into the transfer amount, so we're just kind of maintaining. The Murray Parkway Fund is only, this is a good sign, is only using $24,000 of reserves. They are still getting the $60,000 transfer from the general fund and $189,000 from the CIP fund for their equipment. Hopefully, maybe in the next few years, we can stop the general fund transfer, but they're going to need help with their equipment until their irrigation system is paid for. The power fund, this is the one that we just talked about and you all know about. They're using $12 million of reserves. Their operating expenses exceed their revenue right now by $4.8 million. and 7.4 is being used for capital, which is the AMI metering system, and they're buying a transformer for their substation. And you know about the power study that's underway. Quickie on the general fund. We are not using any reserves to balance this budget, so the percent of revenue is going to climb. Our revenue has actually dropped from last year, mostly because the ARPA money has gone away. And some of the other stuff is being adjusted down just a little bit, but it's, revenue's down. So it's going to be about 29%, my best guess, at the end of the year. There are a lot of cities that would love to have our reserve level. Salt Lake City is very proud, they're at 13. Highlights of the general fund, we've already talked about the property tax, and the property tax increase is actually enough to pay for the 2 police officers for the first year, the paramedic firefighter, the operating costs of the 2 new parks, and a portion of the operating cost of the theater once we open it. Those are all brand-new services that we brought on last year, so it takes new revenue to pay for them. The sales tax revenue, I'm afraid we're going to go into a recession. I hope not, but I actually just budgeted sales tax at the 2022 level. We received less 5%, and hopefully that should be sufficient. Should be low enough, but high enough that we'll be okay. Our personnel costs increased 5%. Our operations decreased 5%, but since personnel is so much bigger than operations, they don't offset each other. Just a quick little thing, most of our revenue comes from sales tax and property tax, and then charges for services. And somehow the title disappeared off of that one. That's really interesting. I'll have to fix that. With this property tax rate, without it, we are right in the middle, number 10 of everybody in all the cities. Everybody always likes to know where we stand on this stuff. And with it, we'll be number 10, right in the middle. Although I do believe Sandy City might actually jump us with their proposed 33%. Just a quick slide that was in your, about how much that would cost. $285,000 house, you're looking at $11. Everybody should just remember, a 5% tax increase is just on the Murray portion, not on the full $1,200 bill you get from everybody. So that's always important to. And then where it goes, and I did this by function. Police and fire are the biggest. Parks and recreation is next, and then they kind of go from there down. And the CIP fund, you guys didn't change anything, so this slide is still accurate. We're going to spend $14 million on new stuff. The highlight for me, we're going to spend $1 million on those new parks that you guys got because the county has neglected them for so long and so bad. The police and fire are getting the equipment that they normally get. $4.9 million of road construction is being in the CIP fund. That's a lot of money, a lot of projects. Hopefully they can get them all done. And then just for your information, the resolution is for you to approve the tentative budget tonight, which means with the property tax increase, we will have a public hearing on the 6th in the new building. Yes. And then we will, and I'll learn how to run that stuff. And then we will have, on the 27th, it would be the RDA meeting and the MBA meeting will pass their budgets. The council meeting, we will either approve the tax levy as the county is going to present it, or we will set the date for the truth and taxation hearing, which the county has listed as August 22nd. We will be if you do, and we keep the tax increase in the budget, we will be operating on this tentative budget until August. Just, that's why you're approving it, so that we can postpone through that. And I think I got that. That's all I have. Any questions?
Yeah, can you speak to a little bit why the property tax increase, why it's so important with sales tax being the way that it is handled?
Our sales tax is highly dependent on car sales. Cars, RVs, car repairs. And sales tax is very, very, very volatile. It doesn't take very long. Well, we figured that out in the pandemic for everybody to stop spending money. But if we do hit a recession and people are already starting to pull back on their discretionary spending, our sales tax will drop. Property tax, as good or bad as it is, we are guaranteed a certain level of income every year due to property tax. And because our sales tax is so much greater than our percentage of property tax, it's just nice to have that little bit that you know you can trust it will come in. And so, the reason I kind of recommended, or we have recommended the mayor and council 5%, is it's money. It's $20, $25, $50 for some businesses. It's going to be a chunk of money. But if we do it in small increments, we hopefully won't end up in Sandy's spot again, where they're suggesting a 33%. We listened. We know that we should have small increases as opposed to one 46% increase like we did the last time.
And then one more point I just want to make sure I clarify. The major part of the increase is funding 2 additional police officers and an additional firefighter. Is that correct? Firefighter,
Yes.
paramedic.
Yeah, the
Okay.
property tax increase is $545,000, and the 3 of those is about $330, and then the parks, they're $100,000 to take care of those parks every year, and
Okay.
Additional
But so the
services.
primary point of it is for public safety.
yes.
And I would just like to point out that even though the formerly county parks that have now been deeded over to Murray City, they haven't been maintained to the level that we maintain our facilities. I'm still very grateful for the acquisition, because if we were to try and buy those parks on the open market,
Oh, yeah.
it's an amenity that we would never have. So I'm looking forward to bringing them up to standard.
Any other questions?
Brenda, when you said it was $23 on a $500,000 home, is that correct? Mm-hmm. That's per year, correct?
Yes.
So if you divide it by 12 months, you get $1.92 a month, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I just want the public to understand that it's $1.92 added. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, I will call for a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve a resolution adopting the City Council's tentative budget as amended for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024, and schedule a hearing to receive public comment before the final budget is adopted.
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion by Gary Harekesi and a second by Diane Turner to approve a resolution adopting the City Council's tentative budget as amended for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024, and scheduling a hearing to receive public comment before the final budget is adopted. Call for vote, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. Number 5 now. Schedule a vote on continuing to participate in the Salt Lake Urban County CDBG program, and GL Critchfield is presenting the information to us.
Thank you. So as we discussed earlier, the CDBG program is a program that is administered by HUD that comes down to the county and then to those cities who participate, and with the goal of trying to increase the opportunity for affordable housing. We've done this before. The recommendation by staff is that we remain with the county. And the reason we're doing this tonight is the county has to requalify every 3 years. And so they're trying to requalify, and they want to know who's going to participate. So that's the question. And they're just looking for a voice vote.
Oh, okay. All right. So I don't really have to call for a resolution?
Correct.
Okay.
Just a
All right.
just a-
Those in favor of continuing to participate in Salt Lake Urban County CDBG program. Please indicate in the positive or negative.
Aye.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Almost butchered that.
Good job, Phil.
Okay, we have, can we take items 6 and 7 together?
They were requested to be separated. We
Okay.
can take them together, but they were requested to be separated.
That's fine.
We can take them.
You're okay taking them together? Okay, we can take
Okay,
them together.
We will take items 6 and 7 together, and this is to consider Councilmember Dominguez and Councilmember Turner's request to attend the APP National Conference, June 16th through 23rd, 2023 in Seattle, Washington. And who would like to present? Each of you can. You're more than welcome to.
It's up to you. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to give some context here really quickly so everyone
that's fine.
understands. So the reason this is an item on here, it's unconventional to have council members coming in asking for travel. However, we do have a travel policy in place, and these two particular line items would be an exception to that policy. And so we felt it best to deal with that in the public.
Yeah.
And why don't you go first?
All right, thank you, Phil. Okay, our travel policy has been very confusing. We've had changes. We have, some that I had forgotten about, actually. And so, anyway, it's been very, very confusing. So, and in the past, we have always been able to attend both conferences for the power, because we are the power board. We act as the power board, and as a result, we have a responsibility to make sure that we understand what's going on with the power board, with the power. So I have always made it, it's been very important to me to make sure I attend as many as I can. And I haven't always been able to attend them, but this year I was able to attend the one in February. And since I thought no one else was going to attend, then I also said that I would be willing to attend the one in June. Anyway, come to find out, I made a mistake, a big mistake, and was inaccurate. And so now I'm asking for funding to be able to go to the conference. And since they're expensive anyway, and I thought I'd better get my airline tickets as soon as possible. So I've already done that, and then I found out that I was in error. So anyway, I'm requesting the funding to go to attend that conference.
And I'll just add to this. We all get invited to the power conferences. Everyone else declined to attend for whatever reasons. Personally, I feel it's important that we do have representation from the council to attend these conferences. I came in and said, but I am also willing to ask to be a representative for the council. And in exchange, we have been talking about the travel budget, and so this may not happen or may happen again for the next time. But I do highly encourage other council members to attend because they are important. I feel the value is very important to go to these power conferences and to support our power department as well. We are only elected for a short period of time, and like I said in our committee of the whole meeting, I feel a lot of value. I've gained a lot of insight about the municipal grid and where we are and where we stand within UAMPS and the state, and where we are at on the western hemisphere of the United States as well, and where our water supply is looking like, and water's not going to be here forever. I mean, it's very volatile as well, just like our sales tax. So I I think we need to be aware, and we need to make sure, personally, that as a council, we're making informed decisions. And we've talked about it before, and I'm more than happy to present after, and have presented in the past before as well. So,
Yes, and I'm very happy to do that and bring whatever information that I glean from that, and I have as well. So, anyway, that's...
Gary, any comments?
Questions, or are we open for questions?
Yes, absolutely. Questions or comments?
Okay, I just have a couple of questions, because I need to get my head wrapped around this. What is the difference between UAMPS and APPA? Because I feel like we use them interchangeably sometimes, but I'm trying to figure out the difference. And because we have a UAMPS conference, I believe, in Jackson Hole.
Yes.
Is that also? Okay,
Yes.
so can you guys help me understand that a little bit more?
so UAMPS we are collective, one of participating cities within the Utah. We are we have our own municipal grid, a part of that. So this is also why it's beneficial to go to these conferences. And then APPA is the National Conference of Municipalities. So it's like the NLC.
Of the country
it's
come together.
the NLC of
Okay.
the power. I would say that's a summation of the comparison, but I don't know if, GL, would you make your input here?
It is an interlocal.
Hold on,
UAMPS is an interlocal
Wait, 1
entity.
second. NLC is Utah Leagues of Cities and Town, is it not?
It's National Leagues of Cities.
Is-
And ULCT
Right.
is Utah Leagues.
But you said NLC.
Right,
Right.
what she's saying, she was comparing it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, GL.
So the difference between UAMPS and APPA, UAMPS is an interlocal entity that we are a party to. And they work with the cities that are members and go out and try to find resources. APPA is the overarching national organization for public power. So that's why they would have a conference somewhere outside of Utah, DC, Seattle, in this instance, that type of thing. So they report on nationwide issues that are typically timely as well.
Okay. And so I'll keep going. I got two more questions. What do you guys feel like will be the different value? And the only reason I'm asking all these questions, it's a big ticket dollar. It's almost $5,000 a person. So I'm trying to make sure that we're being thoughtful with this. What do you feel will be different going to Seattle than what you both learned in DC at the conference in DC?
So DC was more of being front-facing with our national representation.
Okay.
And there were specific asks that came and fiscal asks that came of that. So it was a very small group of us that were there. I mean, personally, the conversations were very informative, and especially with what we're up against in terms of a rate increase. I think it was very important so that they can see the scope really face-to-face to what we are looking at now down the line. And we had some really robust conversations there.
There were also issues with IPP that we needed to support the power company, our power company with. And information, it's really important that council support that. And I've always been told by other members of power departments how much they appreciate that council members attend, and that often they can't talk their council members into coming. So I just think it's really important, and things change so much. So the focus is completely different. The APPA is about information. It talks about governance, good governance for power departments. It talks about the grid. It talks about the latest on the electrical grid. I mean, there's all kinds of things that that it deals with that is really helpful, because that's about the only education of that kind that we get.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really important that we are informed. So that's why I value going, and I go whenever I can.
And my last question is, are you, either of you or both of you, planning to go to the UAMS conference up, I think it's in Jackson Hole, right?
It is correct.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to go to that.
Yeah, I probably won't be able to go as well.
Okay, thank you.
I believe that's in the next fiscal year too, though, Gary.
Is it?
So, yeah.
So it crosses fiscal year.
That's an entirely different.
Okay, I was just,
Yeah, entirely different thing. I would just like to make a couple of observations. July 5th, I believe, last year, the existing council at the time passed a revision of the travel policy. And we are just in May right now, and we've not, gone through a full year of what was agreed to unanimously at that time. And the policy does clearly state that you may attend one of two power conferences during a fiscal year. Now, everyone that was here, that does not include me, but everyone that was here did agree to that. And now, less than a year from that, we are looking at saying, well, this is different. And we've sent two people from the council to these conventions almost every year, I would gather, for, I don't know, the last 10, 12 years probably. I don't think it hurts to just go by policy right now. And if we want to amend it in the future, fine, let's amend it, let's change it. There's a lot of discussion going on about potential changes. But I really think that it's bad public policy, and it just doesn't look good if we agree to something and then we just change it without, going through and seeing how it affects things.
And I have some comments as well. We, as a council member, the four of us, knew about this on July 7th, bullet point number 3, American Public Power Association Legislative Rally or National Conference, all council members, 1 conference per fiscal year, 3 council members from the council budget, 2 council members from Power Department budget. I don't see how that is confusing. I don't know how we talked about that, because on February 15th of 2023, I brought this up in our council initiative workshop that Gary Harakasi conducted in the room 107, and it was line item number 4, line item number 5, council travel policy. And I brought that up. What the council members are asking for me to do tonight is to vote against my vote. And I don't think that's going to look good to my citizens that I represent, because then they're going to question me. Can we take her word for what she votes for, or is she going to turn around and vote against it? And as far as education goes, I've been on this council for a year and a half, and I have only seen one report, and that was given by Councilman Cotter. Councilman Catt asked if I would give a report from the DC, and I did, and no one else did. Their comment was whatever Pam said. At this time, as far as education goes, that's why we have department heads, to come and educate us, to tell us the important things. And if we cannot count on our department heads, then maybe as a council we should not have appointed them. But the council is asking me to go against my vote, and I cannot do that. That is my integrity, and I cannot do that at this time.
Any other comments?
Yes, I just had a question. When we talk about policy, are we talking about the council rules?
Council rules, yes.
Okay,
This is a
so
council travel
versus
policy.
the city, Murray City policy.
This is city
Okay.
council policy.
And then Pam, I have a question for you. When you talk about, if I remember correctly, when we did meet as a council for the council policy travel, this did not come up. You had asked to attend other meetings within the administration, is from what I remember.
No, that's incorrect, because Council Travel Policy Number 5, Wednesday, February 15th, I brought in the Murray City Council Travel Policy, and which was printed off to me and was given to me, and we talked about the Utah Leagues of Cities and Towns, we talked about the National Leagues of Cities, and then we talked about the APP, and then we talked about the UAMPS. And right there, I said, the big word that needs to be highlighted in bullet point number 3 is the word or. Legislative rally or national conference, or is the big word. It's not both. We as a council know that if you go to the rally, you don't go to the national conference, which is going to be in Seattle, because of that big word, or.
Thank you for that. My next two is, I've never been opposed to reporting. In fact, I did bring it up to Jennifer and we discussed it, and she said I needed a second person and we would get back to it. That never circled back. I've always reported, and have continuously. So I'm not sure if that's pointed or directed at me directly. And then the last is, everyone was invited to attend. We are, as Diane said, a part of the municipal council in terms of supporting the power department, and we do have some big decisions. I'm not asking for anything that would be out of the realm. It's budgeted for either any of the other 3 to attend, and if it passes, great. If it doesn't as well, I think it's unfortunate. So that's where I stand.
I'm also looking at the taxpayers' money, which the total cost for 2 people to go is $9,537.
Diane, do you have anything?
Gary, do you?
No, just one more thing. I think it's really important to have an educated council. And I think the citizens really suffer if we don't have that. And this really doesn't help. Like I said, I made a mistake. People do that. And so, anyway.
I'll just add to that. We make decisions every day. Decisions get brought to us all the time, and they change. They change between the administrative role, they change between the legislative role. This is not very uncommon. It is, mistakes or not, we made a decision. I don't say I'm not sticking to that decision. I'm not saying I can't go back on the decision. We're only human, and that is exactly my role as a counselor, and I feel it's valuable for our citizens to have a representation there.
Well, I don't think missing one conference with council representation is going to be a catastrophic event that's going to really affect the city and the power department. I think that in light of all we've heard about all of the previous conventions and meetings that we've been to, missing one is rather inconsequential, in my opinion.
And just to conclude, I guess, I don't have any more questions, but I'm really torn here because there is the cost factor of it and the policy that are sitting and staring me right in the face, and that's what I'm grappling with right now. I passed a policy, and it is a cost situation, I think, and as we get ready to pass a tax increase, I'm struggling here. Also, but on the other hand, I'm thinking about the power rate increases that we're discussing. And I want us to be educated from that perspective on the power rate increases. However, to that same breath, we are getting a full study done by an expert on the power. And so, yeah, I'm really torn. I think obviously everyone can tell how this one's gonna go, but yeah, this is really torn for me. So,
Well, if there's no more discussion, I will call for a motion. And this would be for items 6 and 7 together.
I make a motion that to consider Member Dominguez,
It would be either to approve or deny.
I make a motion to deny Councilmember Dominguez and Councilmember Turner not to attend the APPA conference, National Conference, June 16th through the 23rd, 2023 in Seattle, Washington.
Do I have a second? And GL is, as far as the chairman, I am able to second, or, okay. Do I have a second? I will make the second. All right. We have a motion and a second to not approve Councilmember Dominguez and Councilmember Turner's request to attend the APP National Conference, June 16th through the 23rd, 2023 in Seattle, Washington. Please call for a vote.
No.
No.
Oh.
We are,
Okay.
so if you're in support of the,
Oh.
of the motion, and the motion was to deny, so you would vote yes, or you know, whatever you
Yes.
feel.
I think everybody knows.
No.
No.
aye.
Aye. Okay, that is the conclusion of our agenda this evening, so the council meeting is adjourned. Oh, the mayor's report, see? I did it, Mayor.
I was good, Phil.
Hey, I was so concerned about the gavel this time. The last time I chaired, I hit this thing so hard.
I jumped
on
about
the dais
55,000
that-
feet.
Yes, I had everybody jumping.
I've jumped higher than I've ever jumped in my life, so.
So I was very judicious
really
with
were.
that and polite.
You
and
were.
I blew right by you.
You're good, you're good, you're good. All right, these are just a few highlights that you received from the council communication. Removing and pruning trees at Woodstock Park, that's the park up by Diane that we just took over, and as Phil said, lots of work, but I think we all agree that it's worth it. The irrigation system isn't working, so they're working on that. Lights have been removed. Riverview Park is in a similar situation. And then I had no idea until Kim Sorensen, is he here? Oh, he left. Let's make a note of that. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Kim, because I know you're watching out there. Believe it or not, we have cemetery tours that are coming up. I've never heard of that. Phil, obviously you have because you worked here.
It's really, really interesting.
Everyone says that. It's great. It's a lively group, and so.
Oh, Mayor.
All right. Anyway, and then headstone.
Kind of deadpan there, aren't you?
I did, didn't I? Headstone cleaning upcoming too. Anyway, some fascinating stuff that I wasn't even aware of that we do. The swimming pool is holding water. This is one of those things that makes me nervous to say too much, but it's been a week and almost 2 weeks.
That's great.
And
That's
so
outstanding.
Kim is very excited about this and holding his breath at the same time. It had been leaking, excuse me. The pool had been leaking. How many I mean, it was like.
It was a lot.
I don't even want to say, it was so many gallons of water. But anyway, they've fixed it for now, and anyway, it's more hope than he's ever had, so he was excited. There's a pancake breakfast this Saturday at Station 81, the fire department's putting on. They love doing food, the fire department, so they're doing some pretty fancy pancakes, right, Steve?
It's going to be the best.
The best, all right. I saw a picture of pancakes with blueberries. Are there going to be blueberries?
Well, come earlier if you want bacon.
Yeah, last year they ran out of bacon, Mayor. It was a very good event, though.
I remember, it was really,
Councilwoman Dominguez and I came, and I believe you were there as well, Councilwoman
and they
Cotter.
did run out.
But it was very fun. Bring your kids; they get to climb on all the equipment, and
It's
see everything.
great. I mean, it's fun. We took our entire family, and that's a lot of people, and they had a great time. The fire department is really supportive of families coming in. And then last but not least, this week is Police Officer Memorial Week, honoring fallen officers. And Craig had brought that up to us today, and I just wanted to recognize that we have someone here from Murray that's been recognized back east in DC and then also locally here. Is that correct, Craig? So anyway, we just want to, we recognized our fire department today. We wanted to recognize our police department and for all they do, and every department. But just right now, since it's Police Officer Memorial Week, we wanted to honor our officers. And then I think I had, the building. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm not talking about it anymore because I think I'm jinxing it. And we have our own inspectors that we can't get approved. So if you think inspectors have been hard on you, I remember somebody calling up the other day, and one of the responses was, we're not treating you any differently. You're not special. You're at the bottom of the list. I'm going like, who said that? Anyway, so we will be in as soon as we can. We're hoping who knows? But we're thinking next week. It's just some things they had to fix. I didn't think it was anything major, but it's major to the inspectors, and so we follow protocol, and we'll wait for that. But hopefully, IT had already moved in and then weren't there, but had put their things in there, so they're working off laptops and that. But they were hoping, Jennifer, it will be up and running. Look at her; it better be. Because Jared was going to be the trial, and now you are going to be the first. So, I mean, what a compliment that you're going to be the first in the building. It might not work, but you're going to be there, and we're excited. But anyway, it looks beautiful. I went over yesterday. Absolutely beautiful. You know, when they're cleaning it up, when it has all the construction things around, you really don't notice as much, but wow, they've cleaned it up. It is absolutely a beautiful building. So we're knocking on wood that'll be, we'll have approval to move in next week. So, thank you.
All right. With that, I will adjourn the council meeting for this evening one last time in this building. We are adjourned.